What's up, guys? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm back in my yard again. It's not too bad of a day out here right now. We just got a real heavy downpour, but right now it's pretty good out. So what I'm going to do today is go around the yard and try and plant some of my mums. Now, I don't know if I've waited too long, but we'll see. We're going to take up the mums and see how they do. So let's get to it. So I'm going to slip through the gate here. You can see I was busy doing some work here when my buddy Linda was here the other day. We cleared back some of the perennials. And on the front here, flanking the front door in these two baskets, I have these beautiful chrysanthemums that I'm going to plant in the ground and cross my fingers and hope they set root in time to come back next season. Now, after looking at these cranberry red chrysanthemums, I changed my mind, and I think I'm going to put those ones in the ground. And the ones that are by the front door, the crackling gold, I will keep those in the pot and see how that works out. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. So chrysanthemums are considered perennial, although most of these garden varieties that we buy in the big box stores, in the fall time, we kind of treat as annuals because we enjoy their beautiful color and the show. And then as soon as they die down, most people toss them and that's that, and then replace them again the next year. But you can overwinter your mums. Now, mind you, for me, it's a little bit late, but I'm still going to try it anyways because I think we still have at least 6 to 8 weeks before we have a real heavy freezing of the soil. So here I am just taking down the plant to maybe about 2-3 inches or so. You can see that it's starting to wilt. The flowers are just about spent. So I'm just kind of cutting it down so that the plant will concentrate, on setting roots rather than having to feed these long stalks that are already kind of on their way out anyhow. But ideally, you would want to give these mums a good chance to really set roots. So planting them sooner rather than later in the ground will probably give you a better result. But I've tried this method before, and quite by accident it did work for me, and I was very surprised when the mum came back. So I have 2 of them here, and I'm just, like I said, cutting both of them down to about 2 to 3 inches from the base of the plant. And that's the finished product. So I'm just going to take them now and plop them into the ground. So I'm just giving a little bit of organic fertilizer here, just at the bottom of the hole, to try to give the plant a little bit of a boost to try to get some roots going. Now I'm just using what I had left over from the season. Now, as you can see, when you take these mums out, they're very root bound. The whole season they've lived in these pots, and the roots have just been spinning around in the pot. So they're very root bound. So you have to really get in there and tease them up. I really got in there with the spade and really kind of hacked away at the bottom of the roots because it was so tight. But trust me, you're not going to hurt the plant. You're just giving it, the roots, a little bit of a chance to spread out in their new environment. So you really have to pack it in there, and that's about it. I didn't bother to water it in because just before I filmed this segment, believe it or not, we did have quite the downpour. So the ground was quite moist. And I mean, the plant is kind of going down into dormancy, so it's not going to require all the watering and fertilizing like you would in the spring. So I really packed it in with my feet there to try to make sure that there's no air pockets, and that's that. And once I finish with the garden, I'm really gonna put some of that leaf mulch in and around all these tender perennials like this. This is a perfect example of mounding up using the leaf mulch to mound this plant up to help it to protect its roots and its head there from the frost. Because like I said, I'm planting a little late, and that might affect this plant doing well. So I will definitely come back in with my beautiful leaf mulch and really mound up this plant I just put in the ground to give it a fighting chance when the frost hits. Onto the crackling gold. I'll put a picture up of it in its heyday. Gave me some beautiful color. The orange and the yellows were gorgeous by the front door. So now, as you can see, it's dying down, it's going into dormancy. The purple fountain grass is kind of spent. We're dipping down into lower temperatures. So I figure now it's time to really tackle this. Now with these ones on the porch, I'm going to decide to overwinter them in their pots. So what I'm going to do is cut the plant down to about 2 to 3 inches from the base, keeping it in the pot though. I'm gonna cut it right down, and both of them, and then I'm gonna leave them in the garage over the season. Now, like I said, they're gonna be going into dormancy, so they're not gonna really require too much light. And because they're in a garage and the garage is unheated, they'll have a little bit of protection from that freezing and thawing. That I would kind of worry about if I left it just outside in the garden. And I can keep an eye on them and give them a little bit of water throughout the winter season if they require it. Now, because they're going into dormancy, they're not going to require watering like you would a plant that is actively growing. So that's about it, guys. 2 ways that you can overwinter your mums. You can either plant them in the ground 6 to 8 weeks before you get the real hard frost, or you can just cut them back after they've died down, keep them in an unheated garage or even up against your house, and it can get the radiant heat from the house. So I am just gonna clean up my mess here and call it a day. Take care for now, guys. And if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my page, go ahead and subscribe. We can be garden friends. Take care, everybody.